Rolling here. Good morning. Thank you for that very lovely intro, Stevie Ray. As Molt said, that's a lot to live up to now. Now there's like the pressure's on. Promises have been made. That's like, you know, I slightly broke my iPad last week on the Creativity 360 stream. Good morning, Pam. Good morning, Ian. And so, Molt, it kind of froze on your promises have been made. Note there. All right. So here, I'm just going to get a couple things set up. Bear with me for a second as I'm also trying to read on this iPad here. Let's see if I can... give me a second. Switching things over. So how was everybody's weekend? Good, I hope. We are all, I can tell you, all of us here are still enjoying and really digging all of what occurred. Hey, Vern! How are you? The Fuzz. CBR, happy Monday. Crash for all. You were told I would I would sing Molten Ink. All right, well, yeah, that could definitely happen. You could say I went to black and white today. It's a little nod to SOA again. So yeah, maybe so. And hold on, my audio from the iPad's coming back around. So yeah, so good morning. Thank you everyone for joining me. So I'm going to work today finessing the soundtrack that we scored live last week when Synapse and I were on the channel and created the Creativity 360 stinger. And you know, like a lot of things done live, it was fantastic. My part, you know, his part was flawlessly awesome. My part was, you know, it was pretty good. I like it. The funny thing is, as I was sort of thinking about it over the weekend and re-listening, and again, you know, this was all done in what was actually amounted to about 6 hours time. And really having not seen it until he sent me some final renders, and that last day too, seeing the full thing edited and all done together was in those last moments. That was the first time I too had seen it all together. I realized that it needed some sound design because there's all this movement going on, and one thing that really makes stuff weird. EU Eric, hello. Feel weird is if you've got all this stuff that's going. But there's no sound design to accompany it. It's like this dead-sounding music. Not dead-sounding music. The music is sort of offset from the visual, you know? Even though it's in time and everything. It needs some like... It needs something, right? Because there's all this movement going on. Even if it's just wind or some kind of ambient noise. And that's a little tip, too, is when you're doing these kind of things... You want to be in the environment, and if I've got an environment where I've got text and particles floating around my head, I want to hear and feel those particles as well as the music that's accompanying those particles. So, oh, thank you, Pam. Yes, I'm going to tilt this down again. So anyway, so I'm going to work on some of that, and I thought maybe we would start, in fact, by playing some of that too. Oh, that's much better. Hold on, I'm just I couldn't see my. As you know, I'm saying I've got trouble seeing the chat now with my iPad, which keeps going to sleep. This might be harder than I thought. Okay. My cam is 50 Shades of Grey, Minecraft. If only you knew. Yes, you can listen to the 360. So let's take a look. In fact, here, we can start in Premiere. And this is, again, a finished version, or more finished version with some particles added. And let's take a quick listen to where we left off Friday. Now, again, this was a finished mix. I mastered it while Synapse and I were waiting to go on. And thank you, The Fuzz. And like I said, it's okay. It's good. But I thought of some other things that would make it better, also musically, and the need for... you know, nothing major, just a new drum track, a new melody, a new harmony, some harp, you know, about 10 more instruments. Take a look. Oh, and by the way, I also did a little sync correction thing on the playout side of this. So hopefully you're going to see the audio and video now totally in sync. I know you're seeing me in sync, but hopefully the play out from the system is too, so you'll have to let me know. All right. Please don't get angry with my iPad again. Okay, here we go. Them particles, that glass. All right, and let's just do it backwards because we can't. Okay. Yes. Yes, duh flares. Yes. Bernard Fields, nice. Yes, LOL. So it's pretty, it's good. And you know, the one thing honestly that I just, for me, I just didn't love so much, the 808 drums, and I think it's because I'm playing, the part is, I should have been playing it a little more Devo, and I was playing it a little more, and I was playing it more like, Keith Moon, you know? So, Sai is a god indeed. So if you don't get that reference, so you know Devo, you know, whip it, right? Whip it good. It's very kind of 4 to the floor, and it's very computer tight. And yeah, I guess kind of computer fixed in time. And I was playing it a bit more, a little more punk. Even though you could say that Devo is punk, it's just a different kind of feel. So I don't know. I'm hearing real drums in my head. I like some of the 808 elements, and that was a user suggestion, a chat suggestion, and it's rocking. But I think it needs a little bit more. And additionally, I didn't really put a melody on there. There's all this other stuff going on. There's some guitar, playing some very busy, kind of cool stuff. But there's no actual melody playing, so I think I need to add a melody. And then somebody in the chat had mentioned doing something about a harp, and I think at the time I didn't have my harp samples. There was also mention of banjo. I still haven't pulled up the banjo samples, but I did pull up a harp. I think it'll be a good transitional element, add a couple little classical things. So, you know, it's just never done. But I'm going to overdub a couple of those things, and in the process we will, you know, I think just make it even more rocking. And then add some of the sound design. And that's really going to glue it all together. Musically, even if I didn't touch this, to be honest, I'm okay with it. But it needs those... I mean, as the camera's moving, you gotta hear those whoosh and whoop and camera sounds. That's just a huge part of it. And I have a bunch of the sound effects already stored locally, but if I don't, in the meantime, I'll start downloading some from our Loopology library that I don't have. And we'll search and find some of those. All right, Cloaked Smokes. What microphone am I guess it's saying, am I using? The last third of my iPad isn't displaying it. It's just... You want to see? You want to see what it looks like? So you know I'm not joking. Look at that. You see that whole third on the right side is just lines and nothing. Molten ink, it needs more whoosh. Exactly. No, absolutely. And that's it. And again, until I really saw it, because we were working kind of siloed and sharing pieces kind of in the dark, you know. Once I watched it, it occurred, it needs that. I mean, you kind of... Oh, I just lost my headphones there. I was whooshing so hard. You kind of, you know, you need to add those things in. Otherwise, it feels wrong. It feels wrong. So we're gonna do that. Yeah. Time for a medic for the iPad. Yeah, these things take a licking and keep on whatever they're doing. I don't know. It's funny because I've actually been trying to kill my 5S for a long time, and this darn thing, I can't even scratch it. I don't know what's up with that. But the iPad, it slipped. Should have been more careful. All right, that's a reference from last week. All right. So no, I'm good with the chat now. Anyway, hey, Distorted Kick, how are you? Hopefully you've been whispered and got your got your goods on their way. Lots of winners last week in Creativity 360, as you may recall. So, yeah, now listen, one thing I wanted to actually just bring up before we get rocking here. So, and this is something which I learned from our engineers last night, because I ran into a couple of little glitches along the way when putting this together last night. And I was actually trying to do some overdubbing to give me some ideas so I wouldn't forget. And I encountered a couple things that I wanted to bring up. I wanted to mention for those of you who are using Audition. And this is something which will be improved in the version that's coming out in a very short amount of time. Summer or mid 2016, as we're saying. Iori, hey, how are you? So is Audition more like an audio mixer correction tool, or it's also useful? Let's see if I can pull up. I may need to use my phone for this. This is going to be really hard. It's like right in that spot. It's right in the spot where, oh, there we go. Ha ha! Suck it, iPad. I could just flip it the other way. Is it more? It's also useful for producing sound effects. Yeah, so it's in my usual ADD, take a quick tangent kind of way. Yeah, so it's really everything, you know. It's mainly its strengths are really for post-production, mastering, editing. Again, Adobe hat off. There is no better editor. Period. There just isn't. Some may argue, good, great. Everyone's entitled to opinion. Speed, transparency, dithering quality, processing, speed. I said that twice. Audition is just it's the greatest stereo, 2-track, mono, whatever you want, editor out there. Is it the greatest for music production? No. And that's simply because there's just a couple of holes. It doesn't have support for MIDI. It doesn't have support for VSTIs. So I do all my music in here, but it's a little hard, and I do it kind of in a semi-backwards kind of way, just so that I can keep using everything in here natively without having to go outside. So, but as far as for sound design and everything like that, yes, absolutely. I mean, it's an ideal tool, and really, once you get into that realm, I mean, whether it's Pro Tools or Audition or Nuendo or does anybody use SoundForge anymore? I'm not even Wavelab. I don't even remember what all the other editors are out there anymore. Those are they're all similarly capable, and it's just a matter of who, everybody's got native effects. Everybody kind of does the same sort of things. We do them a little bit differently. And again, same with noise reduction. There's a million plugins out there. We've got, half a dozen noise reduction plugins that are very, very good. Some of which are kind of industry standards. So that's just a season to taste kind of thing, and you can make with it whatever you like. But as far as editing goes, I've just still to this day yet to find one that's as fast and as accurate and as zippy, and you can get in and out so quickly, and it's just so freaking accurate and transparent when you convert from high sample rate, high bit rate down to lower ones. It's just phenomenal, So yeah, so hopefully that'll answer that question. Admiral Shane, will it ever have the ability to add folders, bins? This is atop the request list, my friend. I have been asking for this for ages. Unfortunately, I don't think it made it into this next release. But I can tell you it's on there, and it's desperately needed. So I hear you, we hear you. Stay tuned, and hopefully we get that back. So Iori, hopefully that answered your question. Hey, Legacy of Pi, how are you? Oh, thank you, Cloaked Smokes. Okay, thanks for a rewrite. Yes, it got lost in the wavy lines up there. I am using an AT4050, an Audio-Technica 4050 multi-pattern condenser microphone. So currently running in cardioid. This one also does figure 8 and omni as well. No bass roll-off. Actually, do I have the bass roll-off on? Nope, no bass roll-off. And no pad engaged. And it's running directly into a Focusrite Claret 8, which is a combination preamp with tube emulation, and it's via Thunderbolt, if that helps. Oh, Legacy, you just did a stream, huh? Oh, so cool. So sweet. Okay. And again, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you, Nightbot, for that. Yes, follow the Adobe channel, and if you'd like to follow me for more audio, video, visual effects, composition, and occasionally breaking out into song, you can follow me, Beetlejace, here on Twitch as well, so please do that. All right, so very quickly before we get started here, this phase analysis panel. So this is something that I often keep up running. There you go. I keep that running a lot when I'm mastering, and I had forgotten that there is a slight little buglet with that panel. And it's not something that you're going to see all the time. It's not something you're going to run into all the time. I had kind of forgotten about it because I typically keep it docked, knowing that it's a little problematic at times. Particularly if you're using like a combination. I don't know what triggers it, but I've got a lot of third-party VST3s and there's some weird combo that just kind of sets it off. So it's this phase analysis, not to be confused with the phase meter. And apparently they've made some tweaks. They fixed a couple bugs there, so I needed to disable that because I was trying to record, and as you just saw, it just kind of cracked. So yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah. No. Cloaked and Molt. Yeah. No. Not terribly. There is a lot of stuff going on there, but in any case, just leave that one closed for now. All right. Evidently, I don't think there's much of a problem in the edit view. It's more related to the or the waveform view. It's more related to the multi-track view here. So if you're doing like single channel editing, shouldn't be a problem to have that open and doing your thing with it. Even the performance of it is kind of sluggish, and it's slowing everything down. So we're going to close that panel. These things should be like super jumpy real time. Okay, that was kind of a sample test melody that I did last night, which is not great. All right, so we're going to quit this. Let's just quit both of these, and we'll reopen Audition again and actually get to it. Evil Buglets. Rhetoric. All right. Now, I don't technically need the video open here, although I will leave it open because it is kind of nice to have it, and especially for the sound design portion of our program today, we will want that on. Heck, I'll just leave Premiere open. Why not? Why not? So, okay. So anyway, in here, one of the things that I did first of all to clean up the session was there were a whole bunch of other files that were kind of underneath some of the existing audio. For instance, you can see here I had a couple of organ takes, not to be confused with taking organs. And you remember, or you may remember if you saw me record it last week, because it was so fast, I was kind of playing these things and then getting in and out. Here, let's take a quick listen to this. This might be a little loud, but let's see. That was actually kind of a nice take. I don't know why I didn't use that one. But it's not being used in the session, and it's actually living underneath some of the existing organ tracks in there. So we can actually just get rid of that and just get it out of there. There's another one in here too, which isn't being used. Why not? Famous last words, Multinek. Yeah, right? CBR is saying, we've had issues with phase analysis, putting my entire session in the upper right quadrant versus the usual left and right. I've checked over everything and don't see why it should have changed on the input side. I leave it back out in post. Well, I don't know, CBR, I don't know if you're saying that, because I mean, it's just monitoring what's coming in. It by itself isn't changing or capable of moving anything. I don't know if you're saying that maybe it's monitoring incorrectly what's coming in. I haven't really seen that, but I wouldn't. Again, it's buggy, so I don't know. I'm not gonna say it's impossible. But that's precisely, and in fact, if this Friday I have to get my piano tuned. Let you guys sit with that one for a while. have to get my piano tuned, and if I can get it tuned by Friday, I'm going to do a live from the piano session, do some recording up there, and it's going to be it's a Friday chill, and I have to play piano on Friday, and I've been itching to do it back on stream for a while, especially with the new sound setup. And thank you, those of you talking about sound, and it's sounding good. So if I can get it tuned on Friday, by Friday, I'll do a whole stream from there, and we'll do some actual recording, a couple of my new songs as well. Track some piano and just have some fun with that. But in any case, as I've said before, I use the phase analysis, and I may even do it maybe in advance, like before the show, sort of behind the scenes. It's a really good way to test if you have any microphones, if you're doing stereo miking, to check if they're out of phase. Because again, it's only monitoring what's coming in. It's not changing anything. So if it's not reporting correctly, that sounds like something's gone awry. But yeah, this is it more than likely is telling you that there's some imbalance, and that should be. Don't fix it in post. Fix it before, because with stereo, if you have something that's slightly out of phase or imbalanced, you might be losing a little bit of your center channel information. There's lots of things, but maybe we can look at that on Friday too. Oh, this is kind of cool. You can actually see, by the way, we're in the spectral view here, and we're seeing frequency over time, or more importantly, if I go into notes, right? These are all the notes on the scale along the our vertical scale here, and you're seeing as I'm doing that swell / semi glissando-y thing on the organ here. Right, you're actually seeing how it's kind of playing all the notes going up. Right, kind of neat. The images in here are just very cool with what the spectral frequency display generates, even if you don't know what it is. All right. Distorted kick. Why 48K sample rate? Why not 192K? Great question, Distorted Kick. I can tell you why precisely. 192K is a scam. It's a scam. It really is a scam. Now we of course support 192K, as you can see here. In fact, we can actually go all the way up to 10 megahertz, which back in the day, there's one for Paul Weaver if he's tuned in today. We had a lot of scientists who used Cool Edit and Audition later to do sort of like audio analysis, dolphin, whale speak, all these kinds of things. Very, very high frequency. For those applications, you need extremely high sample rates. Remember, your standard audio CD has a sample rate of 44.1. Now that is in fact a bit low, frankly. And it was decided 44.1 in the early 80s by Philips because they could fit Beethoven's Ninth on one CD, or was it the Fifth? I think it was the Ninth. And that's kind of what determined the future of digital audio, which is kind of funny that it was. But we can thank Beethoven for that. In any case, but 48K has been the video standard, and 48K means that the loudest frequency you're actually sampling, or the highest frequency, is actually 24 kilohertz. Humans, really, at your best, at your youngest and most new to the world, can only hear frequencies up to about 21, 22 kilohertz. And then beyond that, you're really just kind of perceiving air and space. You can't really hear anything up there. So when 96K came around in the late 90s, it was a bit of a revelation in that, again, you can't hear that because now it's capturing up to 48 kilohertz, so twice as much frequency as you can even hear or perceive. But it does give you this kind of slightly more airy kind of ambient feeling in your head. It's nothing that you can actually hear. That's, and we get into these discussions too when we're talking about like, it's a scam, when we're talking about like going to 8K video and what that means and what pixel density means. All of these things are very related. So at 96K, you're really, it's perception. You're like, okay, I think it sounds more open or more airy. And it kind of does. Doubling that, now you've got 4 times the frequency response. By the way, your microphones, everything from a Neumann U87, the most classic vocal microphone of all time, to the newest USB microphone to any kind of digital connected microphone, whatever, they can't even capture frequencies above 30-something kilohertz. It's a scam. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says. Scam. Unnecessary. It's just going to make your files bigger. You can't hear it. You can't perceive it. It does nothing. There's no benefit whatsoever. That's not a rant. That's just a... I don't know why. I mean, they still market it. I've even got a device here, and it's like, 192K. What for? What's capturing all those frequencies up there? What are you even doing with it? It's not like bit depth, right? Where we talked about bit depth, and Synapse is talking a lot about that. How with why we work in After Effects. We were talking about this, like why you work in 16 or 32-bit float, right? Because the bit depth is directly related to your dynamic range. Dynamic range is a whole different ball of wax. There, you want those extra bits. It actually reveals more, right? It's like, if you think in terms of audio, it's just more layers, more granularity, going down to the individual elements of the sound. But frequency, there's just a point where you just no longer hear or perceive any change. So that's why. That's an extremely long rant. So what do you think about that, distorted kick? No, it really is. Not really placebo effect, but there's no reason to do it. There's no reason. I mean, you could say, well, for ambient sound, no. You can capture everything in nature that you can perceive at 48K, quite frankly. 96 will give you a little bit more of that air, but 192, it just isn't necessary. It really isn't, And you might say, well, what if you're doing, orchestral, and you've got, look spectrally and see where instruments cut off in a spectral view. You're not going to see anything in 50. Remember, 192 means the highest frequency it's capturing is 96K. That's the Nyquist limit. You're not going to see any sound, anything, in above 48. You're just not. So it's, I think it's when they started building consoles, mixing consoles in the late 90s that were like 96 channel, 128 input channels, all these modular massive boards. And there was a very famous producer at the time who did an article in EQ magazine, and they said, well, what's the point of always going into these huge... This was the beginning of digital mixing, by the way. And they said, well, what's the point of really doing all these, having these massive mixing boards and all this kind of stuff? And he said, well, when the client comes in, it's got to look good. It's got to look like this is a real studio. It's got to look like this is where big records are going to be made. And it's not unlike, you hear this in post a lot, It's still right? People see a huge, big monitor, and you're saying, oh, well, it's displaying 4K, or it's displaying it might be displaying 8K at some point in time. That's a 10-bit monitor. There is that perception, right? But what it's actually doing, 192, again, unless we're talking sort of scientific studies, different story. But music, video, film, television, games, anything that we're actually going to listen to, hear, perceive, you can do it with lower sample rates and with half the file size, or a quarter of the file size, right? Molt, if you are a dolphin, I can still capture the sounds you emit at 96K with the utmost accuracy. I promise. Next time I see you, I'll go for a swim. I just happen to have my underwater rig, but bigger numbers are better. Exactly. Believe me, I have no stake in it. Hey, you guys want to record in 192? Be my guest. And then, I would love for something. And like I said, record something in 192K. Any instrument you can find. Grab an animal. Go grab a bird from outside. Hey, bird, go sing for me. And then go into the spectral frequency display. Make sure you're in hertz, okay? And then take a listen. And by the way, and I've shown this before, and this is one of the... In fact, I was just showing this a couple weeks ago. Here, wait, I'm just going to plug in another drive. Hold on, you're going to get to see my Karma shirt. Sorry, 1 second here. Standing in front of my camera. When I was talking about vinyl, last week or the week before. The small part goes on the left. Okay. And talking about, is vinyl better than MP3 or, CD, whatever. Right? We were talking about that. And I was giving the reasons why it is and why it isn't. Right? It just depends. Oh, here, wait. Do I have the 96K transfers on here? Now I have to remember if I have 96K. Why do I do this to myself? I always forget. I wanted to pull up 96K tracks for you to show you again, and now I'm forgetting where I have them. What did I do with them? Oh, I'm not going to be able to find them now because I want to. Okay. I'll try and find them before the stream is up. Or you can go back to the older stream, I suppose. In any case, vinyl, right? You can see there's stuff like in the 30s, 32K, 34K, 35K, all the way up to really about 40K, which is why capturing vinyl at 96K, awesome, because it's gonna preserve all that air, much of which you can't perceive. But that's kind of the vinyl thing, right? It's alive. It is breathing. It is that hiss, crackles. That's vinyl breathing, and it's breathing. It dies a little every time you play. Every time you play it, and that gets captured, and that's capturable. You can capture it. You can capture it with a stylus. Most of it is perception, though. But again, 192. You're just not going to see anything in there. Now this happens to be this is a 48K file, so here you're seeing, again, there's lots of stuff that's still up in that 22, 23K range, right? A lot of transients of these buzzy analog synths. A lot of stuff going on up there. And none of us are going to be able to hear what you're going to show us when it's all encoded for streaming. Even more to the point, Nyron Wolf. And that's the thing too, If we assumed everybody was kind of using, a scientific sound system, even then, are you in the right environment to even perceive those things? Do you have air conditioner going on? Do you have something else playing in the background? Because if you do, again, auditory localization, you're just gonna miss it. You're just gonna miss all of it. All right, bigger. Ian saying that's why people still use DSLRs for 100% of the work, when 99% of the time mirrorless will do the same, but quieter and lighter people like professional looking. Yep, true. Connect with aliens. True dat with video. Yep, Naren Wolf filmed all distributed as 48K, which is why even for all of my music now, I always use 48K. Even the last record that I did, I didn't even bother doing 96. I didn't need it, And again, for me, for my money, for the time spent moving files around and stuff, it doesn't, Look, I'm a hardcore audio engineer. I had to let a lot of stuff go, In fact, here, let me do this. I keep saying in fact. All right, new game. If I say in fact one more time. Do you remember? You guys didn't see. Oh, you didn't see this. When we were in Vegas at NAB, and here I'm going to pull up a blog article that I think some of you might like. MP3. Let's see. I don't know if this is going to find anything. I don't even remember what the article was called. Ah, that's it. Look at this. This is from 2008. This is a very long time ago. I will pop this in the chat. That's a young man right there. Holy good golly, Miss Molly. Look at me there. Look the same? Look at my glasses. I kind of look... Alright, I look older. Whatever. This is a whole study here. Now, again, it's 8 years ago, but it's all still valid. Now, what's different is that iTunes Plus had just come out. In fact, some people were asking me last week, what does AAC files do when you compress them? So this is like a super nerdy look at, what happens when you compress audio and what gets lost and why CDs, what they do and what they don't, and how compressed audio has changed the way we listen to things and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, if you check it out, and I was probably still very, 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 very ranty then. You'll get an idea. But it's a good little lesson there. All right. Finch, mirrorless is the future. Admiral Shane, oh, my rant just answered like 5 questions. Oh, right on. Hey, bird, come sing to me. Thank you, Pam. Yeah, I talk to birds. Uh-oh, vinyl is a scam. Hoist his pitchfork. Did I show you the latest? My latest acquisition. Never, you know, I'm a vinyl junkie. Like, if ever there was, you know, a way to inject some acetate into one's veins, that's what I'm doing. So this is a Japanese, of course you're not seeing it in color, a very rare Japanese-only LP from a group called Beck, Bogert, and Appice. Jeff Beck, Tim Bogert, and Carmen Appice, formerly of the Vanilla Fudge. They did 1 studio album, 1 live album, Japan only, 1973, live. That's what that is. Haven't even listened to it yet. And none of us will be able to hear what you're going to show us. Yeah, and Neil Young would be crying after this discussion. Nero and Wolf. You know, I mean, yes, no. I'm just being realistic. You know, that doesn't mean I don't like. Again, I like to hear, you know, well transferred stuff. But even off of tape, I mean, that's the thing. 96K. That's all you need. And I agree. Coming off of a master tape, as an analog tape, absolutely makes a huge difference. To transfer those at 96K. I would do old master. I've done some of my old masters at 96 when it matters, you know. Over 48, but 192? Pass. Young, so young. All right, is there much advantage to FLAC when listening on phones or low-end setups? Ingvar Philip. So, you know, FLAC is, the thing is, it's better than MP3, and it just depends what level you're going to, right? So yeah, I mean, on earbuds, you know, Apple earbuds, does it really matter? I mean, it's, you know, right? Minimally so. I mean, these are, you know, I used to travel with these Sony's 7506s, MDR 7506. We haven't edited anything yet, by the way. 40 minutes into the stream. Because I always wanted to hear, like, you know, these are my reference listening headphones, so I know exactly what they sound like, and I know what everything through them sounds like. So it mattered then, and I used to do some FLAC rips in Audition, because of course you can export out to FLAC. And yeah, I mean, it mattered to me then, you know. But it just really depends, you know. No reason not to use FLAC if that's your kind of you know, it's that, you know, it's significantly better than MP3, even at similar sort of bit rates. So yeah, FLAC is wonderful, and the files are a little bit bigger, sure, but you know, if that's kind of your thing, believe me, I'm not one to knock wanting to listen to uncompressed or sort of lossless audio by any stretch. It's just that you know, these days you just kind of, you got to give in a little, right? Is 44.1 okay for music or not so much? Oh yeah, I mean, that's the thing. 44.1, that's the standard. All of the stuff that you're listening to off of Spotify, anything you buy on iTunes, Amazon, CDs, that's all 44.1. I mean, that's everything we've been listening to music-wise, you know, since 1981, 82, whenever CDs first arrived on the scene. So yeah, I mean, 44 is, but I don't record at 44. You know? All right. Whoa. Yes. Yes, okay. CBR. Hey, TC, how are you? Yes, yes. Yeah, and that's the thing, Finch. So I mixed this with Apple earbuds last week. I mean, it's, you know, it's like anything. Once you learn the sound of them, you can mix to them. Should you mix with Apple earbuds? Absolutely not. You simply can't hear. It doesn't have the bass response. It doesn't have a flat mid-range response. So you can sort of mix to it, but it's never going to be representative. That being said, if you can make it sound fairly decent in those, and this is a standard way of mixing in general, you can probably get it to sound good almost anywhere. That doesn't mean that it sounds like the mix you want. It just means that it's going to sound semi-balanced, not too bassy, not too bright, not too mid-rangey, not too loud. Yeah, and there's total legitimacy in that. I mean, I did this one that way, so total. Taruwara. Yeah, I mean, FLAC's awesome, you know. As far as lossless codecs go, it's it's the best. I mean, we've got Monkey Audio in there too, and Og Vorbis, and they're both pretty good. But FLAC is really kind of the standard there. Cool. All right, so let's get on to this now. So we got to do some melodies. So I'm gonna power up the jet engine here, and I think I'm just about ready. To start doing some drums. So hold on, let me see what we got in here. Okay. All right. Or maybe we need some melody first. So here, let me play back. I think I've got the melody line in here. This was just a test. I don't like the sound or anything. And it needs some echo and some other things. But let's just check out this melody that I put on here. I love the ending. By the way, is the sync better now? Did anybody say? Anybody notice? Anybody care? Yes, no? Okay. So that's the melody there, done with some kind of analog-y sounding kind of synth. Sync is perfect distorted kick. Oh, rocking. Yeah. I just had to add a little bit of stream delay on my Blackmagic device, which is feeding this machine to the streaming machine. And I just guessed at the figure based on what I was seeing, and it happened to be 310 milliseconds. So there you go. Yay, the fuzz. Yay, Pam Vargas. Thank you, that's awesome. Okay. All right, so, oh yes, lasers. By the way, you'll also notice if you'd watched Synapse's earlier version, this one also has tons of particles going on all the time. So the particles weren't in there when we were doing this the other day. All right, so I think I first need to, could you guys hear that harp in there? Now there's all the fans start going. Can you hear the harp? And this is what I think this would be a good, again, a transitional element. That harp coming through. I'm harping on it. Here, let me make sure it's. You guys hearing it? Must be, because I'm hearing it. Harp love. Ooh, okay. Thank you, Pam. Oh, and here, let me make sure. Let's see if this is... That's that guy. Okay. We can leave that on, too. Nothing wrong with leaving that one on. All right. So maybe we'll start with a little bit of harp in there as a transitional thing. And before I replace the drums. All the drums are kind of bothering me. I'm thinking something like this. So fast. Oh my god. So fast. You know, harp is an interesting instrument because really you can kind of make it the gates of heaven. Yes. You can really kind of fake. You can make anything sound like harp music, you know. Just by playing arpeggios and glissandos. You got the touch. Maybe later. All right. So let's make a couple of new tracks here. I almost thought you were going to say mold something about... I had another song in mind, similar title. Okay, harp excision. And this will be... Do I have a rock drum track? I already made a rock drum track. Okay. And this will be new melody. All right. Probably move up these drums too. Wow, that's going to be so fast. Yet another thing with playing this stuff at No Instrument Left Unconquered. Thank you, CBR. You know, I've actually played a real harp, which is very, very difficult to do. And not... You probably would, as you might expect, it's also very, very hard on your hands, like your actual fingers. I imagine. I don't know. I didn't play it long enough, but it seems like you'd... Well, maybe. I don't know. I don't really have any calluses, and I play bass. I never really did. I guess it just depends how you play, but because you're plucking, that's a lot of stress on the pad of your finger. So yeah, I imagine. I don't know. Anybody date any harpists? How does it feel when they does it feel like sort of rubbery plastic pads when they're touching you or something? I don't know. That's a weird question to ask. All right. My question is, do I transition in D or G? God, it's so hard. All right. I'm not even gonna worry so much if the notes are a little off, because it's just kind of it's a glissando, so it can be a little messy. But let's see. Whenever I hear the harpsichord, I fear a well-armed voice saying, "Move towards the light, Ian. Let go." Yes. I feel the same. All right. Oh, CBR. Yeah, I don't actually have one of those. You know who plays a mean mouth harp, as it's also known, is Mr. Fred Fung. He's quite a master. In fact, you can hear him playing that on one of the records we did together, The Jumping Buddha. And there's a bit of jaw harp on there. All right, so let me just try this for a second. Hear the tempo again? So fast. That's what it's going to have to be. It happens that fast. All right, let's just do it. Okay, I think I may have played it almost too quickly. Not busy enough. Here, let me see. Let's turn off that metronome and take a listen. Yeah, it's like I didn't... here, hold on, let me solo this. I'm playing the sixth. I don't know, that's kind of She Loves You. All right, let's get rid of that one. Do another one. You can sometimes be jazzy if you want, but I'm not feeling the jazz there. So let's re-solo these. I'll stick the drums in there. And let's do another one. The beginning was okay. All right, one more. This is it. I feel it. That could be pretty good. And then maybe I'll just do one track. I'm not going to listen back because I think that's fine. I'll do one additional track there. I'll call this harp gliss only. Of just the which is really just arpeggios. So we'll do that. And that way I can have two of them and I can crossfade them together or do like a stereo pan if you want to make things a little bit bigger. Hey, Grungy 1965, good to see you. Finch loves mouth harps. If anybody doesn't know what that is, that's that little metal thing that you stick in your mouth and it's got a bar. And it just kind of resonates. It's a very good thing if you want to create kind of a trancey drone, buzzy, trancey drone element. You can use jaw harp for that. And it can sound pretty good. All right. Okay. All right. So let's do one more of these. Yeah, maybe I'll do it a bit more structured. That's good. Okay. All right, let's take a listen there. Maybe I need a... Yeah, maybe that. You know what? Yes, I should end on the 6th. I'm talking to myself here musically because the 6th is actually the 5th in the key of D, so that's fine. All right, so let's do that. One more of these. Wah wah. Okay. Oh, Gucheng. Oh, yes, Taruwara. I have some of that in our library, too. Yeah. All right, let's take a listen to that one. That's it. Doodly 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 da. And that which is an A, is going to work with the D. So that's actually the key that this is in. It's the 5th of D, so it should harmonize just fine when the Moogs come in. Here, let's just hear it with Moog and harp. Perfect. It's subtle and nice. Let's get rid of this one. Any others down there? Nope. And I could probably even punctuate the end a little bit more. Very nice. Okay, and now what we can do is we can add a little bit of spacey echo on that. Doodly 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 da 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 da, and let it kind of continue. All right, and that'll kind of give us some nice depth and nice space. A bit longer delay there. Doodly 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 da 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 da. A little bit more wet signal there, so more of the delay. Hearing that now? Now, remember we talked about feedback and trash during the stream last week? I don't want to trash it too much. It's already fairly warm, but I do want more feedback. And I want to increase the stereo spread just to make it a little bit wider. It's also a little, it's very warm, so this needs a little bit of EQ because it's going to get lost in the mix otherwise. But let's just take a listen here. Yep, and Distorted Kick says gain it. Yes, indeed. So for this is where I say, you know, I actually, if we run amplitude stats on this, looks like we're peaking around -10. Yeah, -9 and -13 approximately. So I'm just going to pick this up. Let's just raise this about 3 dB. All right, we can do this right on canvas here. We're just going to save that. But you just destructively processed that file. Yes, I adjusted the gain. And because it's 32-bit float, no damage done here. If we wanted to bring it back down, we certainly could. We're not going to degrade the signal in any way. It's fully uncompressed. Nice. Now you can really hear those echoes. You hear that? It's just pretty, right? It's got a really nice pretty feel to it. Okay, so let's take these drums out and let's hear what that sounds like now. It's gonna sound weird with, we've got guitars in there too with harp, but let's take a listen. see the kick drums, those really emphasize that explosion. Nice. Okay. Excellent. Okay, so once again, let's go ahead and save this now. I'm going to give it a new session name. This will be B, because we're still kind of messing about with some of this. Put our video back in here. And we'll worry about mixing this in a little bit later. For the moment, though, now what I want to do is add some of these new drums. Okay. Now I'm still going to keep the 808s and the 909. The 909 is actually just doing just snares. In fact, you remember we did a couple takes of that. So that's doing some snare bits in here. In fact, it's not even quite as squishy as I wanted it to be. I was almost even thinking of adding a little bit of just standard slapping delay on this. See how that sounded. I don't know if that's going to do it or not, but I don't know if that helped or not. All right, we'll leave that on there. We can always put it back in. Just not loving that. Okay. So let's switch over. What? That's the synth I was going to use? That's awful. Okay, we're not using that. Right? It needs that kind of, because that's how I'm playing it. So I think it's going to make a difference. Now, the key here is also not getting too busy, because there's already two other drum systems playing there. So here, I want to make sure that this is muted, so you're hearing the direct monitored sound here. I need to hear it too. Good thing the garbage man is here right now. Yep, and distorted kick. Funny distorted kick. I have the. I think it's actually on there. So yeah, I've got a nice kind of nice little distorted kick there, and I think there's another one on the 808 too. And this is, remember, we're in mix mode here. We haven't mastered yet, so this is still the raw, right? This is just the actual mix of the whole tune. All right. I gotta play this just once to see if that logo thing is pretty. Yes, Pentic Penguin, I think it is too. Synapse did a super kick arse job. Oh, I need the metronome on here. Much louder if I can hear myself. So this is the part that I'm thinking of playing. Oh wait, no. Somebody wanted me to get some cowbell in there. So like kind of stick it. I believe it was Jan Erik who said he's spazzing out. Man, you gotta get inside the metronome if you're gonna play to this. So, yeah, and when you stop, your body wants to keep going. So that's the spaz out. You gotta kind of let that energy disperse somehow. All right, stick it. Yeah. Yes. Uh-oh, what happened, Distorted Kick? We lost your messages. The breathing is real. It is real. It's like real heart attack breathing there. All right, let's try this. No. Nay. 9. Again. That may be it. Let's hear it, fans. Let's hear just the drums and the Moogs. You guys feeling that? That's tight. Yeah? Let's hype it up. Do you like it? Give me some hype. Come on, man. 180 beats per minute at 10 a.m. on a Monday? Are you freaking serious? That's not even supposed to be musically legal. Am I clipping the hell out of the input there? Sorry if I was just yelling at you guys. I didn't mean to do that. That was sick. Boom. Yes, yes. Matt's the Edge. Yes? Hype for 180 rock drums? NGO Starbuck? Yeah, love it. Heck yeah. Alejandro Juan. Hype train. All right, Minecraft, that's it, right? The Synapse hype train. That's it. Highest praise of all. All right. So, we good with that? We like that? I'm soliciting serious feedback now. Now, again, this needs to be EQ'd a little bit, but let's hear what this sounds like kind of in conjunction with the 808 and the 909 and see if I left enough space. Hype the fuzz. Let's see if I left enough space here. Hype Pam. Oh, Meglaton. Hey, thanks so much. Thank you. Cool. Make it 300 BPM in honor of Charlie Parker. Seriously, right? Starbucks. I mean, and I talked about that last week when I was talking about this jazz teacher of mine, and he was like a Charlie Parker fan, and we'd have these morning classes, and he'd go, and I wasn't even a piano major when I was in college. I was a bass major, and because I only played classical technically at the time, and they didn't allow classical. They only allowed jazz or rock. And I wasn't going to get a scholarship on classical piano, so I did bass instead. And in any case, I used to have this teacher, and he'd be like, he knew that I played piano, so he'd always want me to accompany him. And in the morning, he'd say like, all right, Jason, here's some music, and throw it in front of me. He's like, all right, so we're gonna comp. This is an old Parker tune, and it's it's nothing major. It's 192. Okay, 1 2 1 2 3 4. And I it's Monday morning at 8, and I'm just This is wait a second. If I had to demonstrate what I sound like Monday morning at 8 o'clock, it's something like this. Yeah, I mean it's definitely not. It's way too fast for the morning time. All right, sweet. Oh, Pam is saying no more hype train. It went so bad last time. Yes, that was a little bit of a glitch, a little bit of a streaming broadcasting glitch. on our part, we take full responsibility. Well, I don't personally take it. I blame it on Paul. No, anyway. Half kidding. All right, so, yes, no, Paul knows I love him. Hype train, sweet. Oh, it woke up your neighbors at 3 a.m. JK Digi, that's hilarious. Yeah, that music is intense, and it's so loud. That's the funny thing. It's like a super loud broadcast. So, okay. So let's hear this with the Moogs. So, you know, it's interesting. I don't even know that I need it in the beginning anymore. Like, these kick drums are okay. And guys, can you hear that? The cowbell in there? That cowbell, I love it. See, I don't know if these... I don't know if that's needed anymore. So let's get a little creative here. Let's go ahead and save this. And we're going to keep that, because that's good. Bam, bam. I don't think it needs that anymore because I'm playing something else there. Those are fine. Yeah, because I'm doing and instead on this drums, like I'm playing it straight. And this is what I was talking about, right? It should have been not this like trying to get all busy, fancy. I was playing it wrong. I mean, I wrote it, but I wasn't. I was mixing and matching the style with the sound, and I just blew it. So I hate that. So we're taking that out. You feel me? Dig. All right. All right, so let's just get rid of that, like, soon. Hype train was real, Finch. It so was, dude. So was. Synapse and I, like, seriously, we had the best time. It was so great. It was so great working with him, hanging with him a couple days. The whole crew. And he and I just, we just had, like, so many good talks. And, you know, you start talking about his neuroscience background, and it's just... fascinating stuff. Choo choo. Paul felt the hype train went off the rails. Yes, indeed. All right. Oh, thank you, CBR, for liking the ambient stuff. Yes, indeed. There we go. All right. And I think maybe, you know, I can probably just kind of drop the amplitude. I don't even know if it's needed. I think maybe they sound good together. Here it is without. So what do you think? Here it is. Let's listen with. By the way, is that too loud? Is that distorting out there? I just realized I'm peaking out here. I can put that, put a little brick wall limiter on here for you. Sorry if that was distorting for you guys. I hope it wasn't. Oh, by the way, you know what else? Oh, and I started to say before, and I got totally sidetracked. So at NAB, I was doing some presentation one of the days, and I kept saying the word amazing. Which, you know, especially when demoing multiple times, you know, even I, who doesn't script anything, and everything is always just kind of off the cuff, but nonetheless, you know, you start saying similar phrases, and it's not that I don't mean them, but start saying everything, how amazing everything is. Yeah, you know, even I am like barf after a while. So I said to the audience, hey, if I say amazing one more time, you know, someone said, drinking game, like, yeah, if I say amazing one more time, someone's going to get to come up here and slap me in the face. And sure enough, like 10 minutes later, I said something and it was amazing. And I pulled some girl out of the audience. And she's totally slapped me in front of, you know, 600 people. So, yeah, that happened. It was actually a lot of fun. It's a little loud, but it sounds cool. Totland. Okay. Okay for you, okay for you, okay for you. I feel like the second kit should come in more gradually after the drop. Cosmic chord. Okay. Second kit meaning the 808? That could be. That could totally be. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing, too. You know, I didn't do any drops in any of this stuff. It's all kind of continuous playing. I was thinking about this last night, too. Like, did I want to do the, you know, and you hear this every day, you know. And so when we're saying drop, like things literally they drop out, they disappear, and you leave space for something else to come through. So you've got all these do do bzz, 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 ba 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 like, and you hear this all the time where they do these kind of very staccato, stuttery, right? And I didn't really do any of that. I played that stuff, but I didn't really drop anything out. So there could be some dropout. But I'm curious, Cosmic, if you were referring to dropping out the bringing. I'm thinking the rock drums need to kind of stay in the whole time because they really are kind of the backbone of this. So what do you think? Ian. Hey, man, I was serious, right? I was a little frightened. I even said, I'm like, hey, don't hurt me. You know, I have to be on camera. She gave me a good slap, though. Yes. That is live performance art, if ever there was live performance art, as far as I'm concerned. All right. 3 weeks ago. Oh, it's my pleasure, S. Totland. Okay. Dynamic duo would actually be more appropriate for JL and Psy rather than Batman and Robin. I like it. Oh, nice. Thank you. Tristan. Crash for All. Hey, Tristan. Yes, how are you? Crash for All, haven't seen you in a while. How's things? These drums are probably too loud anyway. Okay, so you are talking about the 808. Very, very good. Now, what about this? This is what I'm wondering, too. So here, before we drop that out, let's take a listen with the 909 snares in there, which have already been affected and processed. I don't know if that flanged 16th note run that I did right here, I don't know if this works anymore, because again, I'm playing that. It's straight time, but it's not quite gelling with my very straight of those other drums. So take a listen here. Like, I like those snares because they're kind of working with the gung gung, so everything's kind of playing on these off beats. Yeah, see, I don't think these work anymore right here. Hey, Witch Named Mora, nice to see you. Good morning. Okay, so what do you guys think? Yeah, I think we should kill this. And maybe yeah, this is gonna go. We're gonna get rid of this right here. Like that. All right, now let's see what else we got coming down. Now here, maybe we can do a crescendo on this, and that'll kind of make this, certainly make it stand out a little bit more. I don't even know if it's necessary. I'll tell you what, too. I'm hoping in this next build, I'll have to check it on the newest one, but a lot of little weird UI things in here. See, maybe it doesn't need this one. We will drop it there. Nicer? Lady Kick Yo Block MC. Good job so far. You digging that? Cool. Did I put the limiter on there? Why am I seeing? Why is it clipping? Shouldn't be clipping at all. Okay, yeah, that's just the rewind. Okay. So yeah, I think that's good right there. Feels a little empty. You're saying that crescendoed snare sounds empty? It's on there anyway. What were you thinking in there? Put that delay back on there. Let me hear what that sounds like. That could work. Let's take a listen to that. Oh, the dropout before it. Make these quieter, you're saying. Yeah, I don't think any of these are needed either. Take these out. Drop them real low. Oh, Minecraft. Thank you. All right, maybe I'll let one stick in there. So yeah, we won't crescendo from total silence. I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And that was, that's played on that M audio, which I was saying it didn't have the response time. So you can see, like, even just with one hand, I can really I could just re-record this, really. It's a little loose, I mean, it's human played, so yeah, it's a little loose. All right, let's see what it's like all together now. Okay. War sound effects. You need to create an hour-long soundscape for a theater production. It's almost an hour of war sound effects. What would be the best way to approach that? Are you talking about just assembling in terms of just like cross-fading sound effects together? Like battle sounds, gun sounds. I mean, that's, here, if I go into, I'll pull this up into this panel here. I'll just turn some music on for a second, take a quick break. You could certainly just drag them into the multi-track. I mean, if you just need kind of a bed, right, a music bed of sound effects for background purposes. Let me save this while we're at it. You could absolutely take, let's see, these might be kind of loud. I want huge blasts. It doesn't really matter. These are all kind of short too. I'm just gonna grab a couple of these. Alright. So I'm gonna drag them in. Sorry, those are still. Stop! Okay. You can just crossfade easily. So if you wanted to simply take a couple clips, now these are all just like single shot explosions, so this isn't the most ideal. But you could just take these, and when you drag them over top of one another, do you see how we start to get these crossfade lines? So that's showing you how this one's fading out and this one's fading in. And this is a very rough and dirty but easy way to to crossfade multiple things together, just to create a sort of bed of sound. You know what? A better example of this. Hold on, I'll show you where this would be actually more applicable, or a better use or application of this would be like so weather, which we're probably going to wind up using. So here's some rain. Just drag this in here. This is super long again because it's, you know, for ambience you want these things real long. Let's go back over here and let's see what have we got. Storm lightning. Okay, why not? Thunderstorm. I'll grab this one because it's nice and long too, and just drag it in here. All right. Build multiple files, one file, what format? Yeah, so this is what I'm showing you, Theater Geeks. So assemble it in the multi-track, and if you assemble it all kind of linearly in one track here, this is just going to give you this auto crossfade. So if you see here, I've got, let me unsolo everything. Hold on. I'm just going to solo this. So here's, you know, rainstorm number 1, and here's rainstorm number 2 with thunder. And if I just drag this over top of this now, it'll crossfade these two together, and you'll kind of end up with this continuous bed where one fades out, the other fades in. You can control the fades of the in and out here, making one more sinusoidal or one more linear. It just depends on how, you know, how you want these to interact. But then you get something like this. All right, let's play that through. Ooh, it's raining outside. Here's some big thunder right here. All right. And now it's crossfading into the other piece. Now the rain's moving away. Now again, we could adjust the volumes to make them all kind of the same loudness. These are two different rainstorms. But it actually just sounded like the thunder passed, like the cloud passed over us right there. I was talking over it. You probably couldn't hear it very well. There you go. Okay. And then once you've done that, you know, I would say, so this is all non-destructive. So save the session and then mix this down to, you know, a WAV file. Okay. The other thing that you can also do, if you want to keep everything on separate tracks, is you could do the same thing and just stack these separately, and then just individually draw out your fades like this. It's the exact same thing. You're just not getting the fade between the two, right? So you could do the same thing here, like this, the exact same effect. Here, I'll adjust this one so it fades out not quite so abruptly. I actually have this one fade in a little more abruptly, so you get the same thing again like this. Hello, Keldeo Warrior. All right. Oh no. Idiotic Noob XD. Oh, sorry you have to go. All right, well, hopefully we see you later. Kaboom. Okay. So did that help? Hope I did miss saying goodbye, idiot. Idiotic. Sorry, not idiot. Sorry, I'm reading. Grungy. Oh, now you have to pee. Okay. Me too. Don't say that. I'm trying to do this whole stream without getting up once. My bladder's not thanking me. Do I have a recommendation for external sound cards for streams? Something like the Steinberg UR-MK2. So I don't know. I haven't kept up with any of the I wasn't even aware Steinberg still made external audio cards. In my arsenal, in my possession, and that ones that I use all the time, repeatedly, in conjunction, I've got a Motu, Mark of the Unicorn box, this is an older one, but it's a Traveler, and an 828 Mark II. Focusrite, I love, and M Audio because they're very inexpensive. So Fast Track Pro, they're great. I haven't used any of the Steinberg gear. You know, if it's got standard ASIO drivers and it's compatible with Mac and Windows, you know, and many of them, if they're 2-channel, they're just plug and play. They use the standard USB driver or whatever. They're all pretty good. I just happen to like these, and I also really like the preamps in the Focusrites and the Motus. Abby the Observer, yes. Beginner question. Lay it on me. I'm likely to have to close to 60 different effects, so would it be better to use the first method or to use 60 tracks? Yeah, so so you're saying each thing's going to be like a minute long, probably. You know, you could do a combo, right? 60 tracks, it's hard to manage visually. That's the only thing. So if you did half as many, so if you did, you know, a couple like this, and then you stacked a couple of things down, so you did 1, 2, 3, and then you did a track of 4, 5, 6, and then maybe you brought the others back up to the top, I think you can do a combo of the two. The key is, if you have 60 tracks, you're just, you know, so let me just show you here. So I'm currently in 1920 1080. That's what you're viewing on screen right now. So if I zoom out all the way, now this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So I can probably get about 22 tracks on here. So this is kind of what 22 would look like in view. And you can see it's already pretty small. And again, you can very easily zoom in, right? Zoom around, make your adjustments, zoom back out. But you are going to be doing a lot of scrolling, especially if everything's kind of like following like this. It's going to get very long and very step-like, which is kind of nice visually, but I don't know. I don't know what you would prefer. So I think a combo of the two, if UI becomes an issue, just because you got 60 tracks, which means you're just going to have to flow. Audition can handle it. There's no track limit. So, and it doesn't matter what kind of system you're on, you'll be able to do that pretty easily. Okay, does that make sense? Cool. I really like sound design and I'm into science of it. But where do I start when learning to design? Programs, books? You know, there's probably a couple of good sound design books out there. A couple of my recent streams I talked about this. I'm going to be doing some in just a minute here, so you get a little more of that once we kind of finish overdubbing the music here. But yeah, I definitely look for. There's definitely some good reference books out there for sure on sound design. You know, I think like a lot of things, it's some of the sound designers that I know who never I never really studied sound design per se, although I've done sound effects for radio and television for many, many years. It's really kind of one of those things where you get to be super creative just by lots and lots of experimentation. And I've got a couple streams archived on my YouTube channel, which again, thank you for joining me. It's 10:30 a.m. Great to see everyone here. I am Beetlejace. If you want to follow me on Twitch, you can follow me, Beetlejace, here on Twitch as well. That would be much appreciated, and we can talk more about audio and video and motion graphics and photography and other things. But I talk about it, like a lot of it is just combining things. Sound design, particularly if you're kind of leveraging existing sound effects libraries, a lot of it is just trial and error, combining elements together to make something sound kind of interesting. So, I think it's kind of a good way to just start playing around and see what you come up with. All right. Where did I get all those sound effects? Funny you should ask that. Lady, kick your block. I will show you once again. So if we go back to my blog here. So this is something called Loopology. I'm going to go post this in the chat again. Not taking a pause for the cause, says CBR. Potty break, potty. Don't do that, Caitlin. I'll tell you what, I am going to need coffee, though. So, that URL that I just posted will take you here to my blog, where you will then see that we have 27 bundles, 10,000 sound effects, all wave, music loops and beds, 33 bundles, thousands of 32-bit wave loops, recorded, authored, and engineered by yours truly. And you can download all these things here. And please read the EULA attached with this content so you understand your use. But these are all royalty-free, and that's where I grabbed the ones that I was just using. And in fact, while I'm at it, and I'll show you what you're looking at when you get over here, wipe train, potty train. All right. So I'm actually going to go into sound effects here. Because I don't know. Yeah, let's see. I've got cartoon, fire, Foley, horror, human, weather. See, there's Foley. So that's so like footsteps and all kinds of, again, so we're trying to add sound design to this. A lot of it's going to be kind of experimentation with sounds, and you're not going to find anything necessarily in here that says whoosh, but you know, transportation might be a good one. I'm thinking trains and helicopters. You know, oh crap, 6, what? Oh, because I'm on the slower network now. All right, I don't know if that's going to get here in time. You know what? Wait a second. Let me see. Let me see if I can stop this. Hold on. Let's cancel this real quick. I'm going to switch networks on here. This will not affect my stream, by the way. If I can get on my other network. I didn't. Oh, there we go. Okay, now this should be way faster. Let's get rid of that. And what did I say? Transportation? Okay. Oh. Yeah, no. I'm not going to be able to do it on this one. All right. We may not get to hear those today, but that's okay. I can build up with enough of what I have. So yeah, so transportation, helicopters, other kinds of noises like that. Industry might be a good one. I've already got fire and explosions. Emergency, no. Crashes. I don't think I need crashes. Ambience might be kind of cool. All right. So you can access all of these, and you can use these inside of or outside of Adobe applications. I would highly recommend, if you don't already have it, just get a free Adobe ID and start working with those. And we'll let this download in the background and see where it goes. CBR used man dragged through grass to make the sound of a zombie trudging through. It was a vast library with which familiarizing yourself. Yes. And more explosions. Yeah. I mean, there's really great stuff in there. And, you know, a lot of those I did too. And yeah, some of the horror ones are pretty funny. I mean, you can see there's like horror body fall drop with chain. If you just listen to these, it's really short. Here, body moving in earth mix. What is that? Ooh, it's a little ASMR there. Demonic possession. Oh, creepy. All right. Yeah. So, horror impact body whipping with belt. That's a little too 1950s. Body struck with shovel. Ow, 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 ow. Oh, aluminum baseball bat. Wow, they get very specific. And no, I didn't make these. Here's what a monster snoring apparently sounds like. As opposed to snarling, which is this. Now, you know, again, a lot of this stuff it's just combining things, you know. Very rarely do you just find the one sound that does it all, but sometimes, you know, sometimes you can. Bone crunching. Bones cracking and breaking. Yeah. There's great stuff here. Metal chains dragging on cement. You kind of have to envision what's going to accompany those chains, and a lot of times, as you've seen me, I just do those live. You know, I'm like, oh, that's a pretty good zombie sound. That's actually more Young Frankenstein than zombie, but I'll take either one. Okay, so now as I'm hearing this, I don't. Yeah, so what it really needs, it needs a lot of help now, because now that it's got these rock drums, we've changed the tone of this. Let me take that harp out for a second, but I got to put that melody in there. So let's go ahead and record a melody track, which I think yeah, melody. Here we go. So I'm going to take the one out that was here. This was the reference. And we'll record a new one. I'll put the metronome back in there. Let's set the input on this track. All right. That made your hair stand on end. Yeah, pretty creepy, right? Back to the UK Parliament. Okay. Walk this way. Yes, this way. This way. My grandfather worked for your grandfather. All right. The rates have gone up. Yes. Is this Adobe's own Ableton GarageBand kind of software? Murky. Yes, except that those two, which work largely with MIDI, VSTI, and loop-based audio, Audition does not. We do not have MIDI or virtual instrument support at present. All the other elements, yes, and many, many more that those two do not do. But yes, it is definitely... He made a yummy sound. I didn't make a yummy sound. So yeah, more. We're gonna go back. We could do Young Frankenstein all day. One of my all-time favorites of all time. It's one of my all-time favorites of all time. That makes a lot of sense, but it is. So did that answer your question there, Merc? Okay. Oh yes, totally, Caitlin. Been a favorite for ages. I actually have very fond memories of watching it with my parents, no less, when I was very, very young. And then later in 10 years later in the 80s, watching it again and still laughing at all the things and still even quoting stuff from there today. Nice hopping. I've said that, man. I actually said that to somebody at... Yes, we were indeed meant to be friends. Absolutely. Want to start with Adobe After Effects and make some animations. You have some tips for me. I'm not sure to learn After Effects for other stuff from Adobe because what you're doing is quite cool too. Can you help me? Mr. Magic. Well, I think the first thing, and Synapse and I talked about this too, if you've got a pretty good foundation in Photoshop, understanding kind of layer structure and things of that nature, then you probably had a pretty good foundation for working in After Effects already. That's kind of I think a key requirement. Sorry, I'm changing the virtual instruments here. A key requirement for working in After Effects. Not that you need to understand all of Photoshop, but more about just working with layers, working with blend modes, basic masking. Like if you already know those concepts, getting started in After Effects is that much easier. If you've ever animated in the Photoshop timeline, that was actually taken from After Effects. Like the whole method, even the icons for setting the stopwatch to set keyframes and how to work with keyframes there, works exactly the same. So that's a good place to start. Okay, hold on. So I need to just select here a couple of lead sounds. All right. S. Totland. So would the Focusrite Scarlett Solo Studio Pack for $249 be a great buy? Funny you mention that. Actually, so I just saw that exact bundle. So that, doesn't that come with, I think it comes with some kind of microphone and headset, and I think it's the Scarlett 2i2. So, Sherwin, why am I being dramatic? Yeah, no, it was the lighting in here today. It was too bright, and the colors were not looking good, so I went black and white. So Totland, so I just happened to see that actually in a Guitar Center last week. I mean, it's a pretty sweet deal. If you need all those things, if you already have the microphone and the cans or whatever, I can't remember. I think that's what it is, but it's headphones, microphone, and the device. Better maybe just to get the device for, I don't know what it is, standalone, $179 or $199. But yeah, that's a great. The Scarlett line is phenomenal. I know there's some people in here, CBR among them, who use that 2i2, I think. All right, let's find a good lead sound. Is this mic on too? Yeah. This was one of the hardest things. I think I may have just found my sound. That was just the first one I picked. Now that's a classic monophonic mini Moog. By the way, those of you aspiring pianists out there, the best way to impress people who don't know if you play, but you want to kind of show them that you're like fast and groovy, pull up a monophonic sound on your keyboard, synth, VSTI, whatever, or just convert something to a mono sound so that it only plays one note at a time, and then just play like static arpeggios or just chord tones. They're gonna go, oh my god, man, your accuracy is so fast. Yeah. Because it's only playing one note at a time, and without any sustain or carryover, it just sounds like you're very, very precise. It's a good way to hide mistakes, to be honest with you. Alright. So do we like that sound? That's kind of neat. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Already have the Sony MDR75 setting, so don't know. Just love those headsets. Yeah, I mean that's mine of choice for ages. It's also fat as heck. Ooh. And I wonder if it has. Yeah. All right. Well, let's just try that. I think that could sound pretty cool. Let me hear what the... All right. Well, what was that? That was really weird. Actually ending on G. Okay. All right. Let's do it. Shall we? Shall we track this? And they just don't ever give in. I know, they're so good. It is fat, right? Skrillex, right? And see what it has. Classic for these synths. Finger exercises here. So you're only going to hear the attack when you release again, which is kind of cool. All right, let's try this. Nope, screwed that up. All right. Get rid of that one. Let's wind it back. Do it again. Okay. So let's see what we can do to this. What can we do? Now maybe try getting a little, this one definitely needs some kind of cool, creepy echo or something. So let's see what we've got in here. I don't think I've used this one yet, this tube delay. I mean, this one has a lot of crunch, so this will dirty it up a little bit more, which could be kind of nice. There's a deal for a 2i2, ISO pads, cables, and a set of KRK Rocket RP5s. Yeah, there's a lot of those, you know. There's a lot of those deals with those cards I noticed the other day. Okay, so let's see what we got here. That's weird. It's somehow trying to figure out the tempo, but I don't know. This probably can be used with, again, other MIDI or VSTI control devices. So I've never really tried that tempo sync function. Yeah, that doesn't work at all. Okay. So we're just going to do regular delay time. Wow, it's really not liking this for some reason. All right. I don't know why that's not working so well. We're going to take that out. We're going to go back to our native delay, which I like better anyway. All right, now this, maybe I'll do the tape style. Oh, Pam's using the MDR XB950, and this is sounding delicious, so that's good to hear. Very glad to hear that, Pam. And here, maybe I'll increase. I'll give it a little more. It's about 2.5 dB more of juice. Let's hear that again. Kind of like a triplet feel there. Native for the win, grungy. There might be too much feedback. Nice. All right, let's hear that again. You like that sound? Now it's not EQ'd either, again, so let's kind of hear what that sounds like now just in the context of everything. All right. Okay, hold on. Those 909s gotta go. What do you think? Maybe I'll double it an octave lower. Let's try that. And then we can do a stereo pan, a big stereo pan. Kind of make it sound thicker. And maybe even a different sound. Again, without EQ, I'm not expecting it to cut totally, but it's, I don't know, it might be too soft or too sine wavy. All right. Yeah, oh, Pam's liking it. All right, you're really liking the direction. Yeah, it totally changed once the drums changed too, right? And again, I'm gonna keep the 808s, but I think I'm gonna take out those the 909. It just doesn't fit anymore. Maybe that one little section right here, that might work. Yeah, it doesn't, I don't even think that works anymore. I don't think it's needed. I don't think it's adding anything. That's okay. You know what? Maybe that's what has to happen there. Talking about dropping things out. So, here, and pushing things up. Let's solo this. Bam, bam, pa, 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 pa. So we're gonna punch these up. Now, I talk about different ways of doing this. I often do it right on the track here. I don't always do it on the fader because this tends to change. So I'm going to do it on the track anyway so that it always has this relationship of increase in volume here. So we'll start by bringing up those two hits of the cowbell and then increasing that tom fill. All right. I'm bringing it back down to normal here. Thank you, Pam. Yeah, it needed a melody, right? Yeah. Now let's see what we got with these things now. Maybe just these first 4 hits. Yeah, it doesn't need this anymore. Take it out. Like that. Get rid of this. Yeah, it's just too much, you know, and we may pull out more stuff too. Yeah, and that's got to go. Not necessary. That's going to work better. All right, so let's do a double on the melody here and see. Let's go ahead and save this. We'll do this as a version B. Let's go to 5 because we're doing new overdubs. All right. Keep the video up here while we're at it. Scroll this over. I did play that an octave higher, right? Okay. All right, let's do one more of these. See what that beginning sounded like. These two together. All right, hold on. Aside from my crummy playing of that, let's just hear if I do this, if this is going to give me the effect that I want. Do it and actually play it the same way and see if that sounds better. Just going to play these two together as they are. Much better. Just playing them together so I can just listen. I don't have to, all that other stuff getting in the way. All right, that could work. That could work. Yeah, let's do a pretty extreme pan on this. All right, let's see if that's any better now. Yeah, I think we're getting there. Yeah? Oh, you're very welcome, S. Totland. Thank you. Kevo8901. Cool. All right. Fuzz is digging it. Sweet. We're making some progress. I agree. Okay. Oh, but... Uh-oh, Barry. But, Barry, there's no more coffee in my coffee mug. That's okay, hot dog person. You can go get some coffee. You guys remember that? In one of my... Yeah. Putting spinning effects for the 360. Exactly. Yeah. That's the whole thing. So all of that, you know, I need whoosh and I need helicopter, and that's exactly what I want to do. So, oh, I'm the first who said your name right. Okay. Well, I appreciate that. I've definitely butchered a lot of names on the stream here, so that's very nice to hear. So, but yes, that's the sound design part of it. So that's why I'm downloading those transportation. You can't see it down below, but yeah, we're still downloading all those transportation sound effects. Because yes, that's what I was saying at the beginning, and I think more when you weren't here when we started. That's what it needs. Aside from the musical things that I felt it was missing, because really I didn't even see this until that last day of the stream, kind of all put together when Synapse finally animated all the cameras and added the particles. All of that stuff, all of that motion needs sound. So yeah, you need like a, like, aside from just the explosion, which works, but you need all that. And that's, that you'll do. You will not listen to the music when you're adding all that sound design. But it's going to hopefully those will get downloaded before the stream is up. So yes. Okay. So we're definitely going to do that. Coffee time. Cool. Caitlin, I should take a potty break while I'm there. All right. I think I just might. Those blue beats you cut off before red eighth notes, I think it is. What if you continue those chord notes to the red beat crescendo? Just these, talking about these here? Yeah, I think the problem is it's my crummy playing of it. It's just not quite tight enough. I could just re-record it if you. It might sound nice. Here, let me see. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Drums. No. Oh crap! Where are they? Vintage drum machines. No. Track 5. We need some hand clap in there. Right, the ones I cut off. These here. Yeah, they kind of need to be re-recorded. Now my fingers are getting tired. Maybe just quarter notes, you're saying? Now, when we used to have a looping engine in here, I could just take those quarter notes and turn them into eighths and turn them into sixteenths way faster. And that is one thing that I'm missing, because while I am someone who likes to play all those things, part of certain types of sounds is that very electronic staccato-y. And then I wouldn't have to play it quite so fast all the time. But let's see. So I can record some of that right now. I don't even need anything else on to do it. I can just record that to the click by itself. And then I will get coffee, and then we will return. Let's see here. Okay. I'm not even going to do the 16th notes. I'll just do 8th notes. Yep. Okay. Oops. Okay. I didn't need that anyway. Okay. Those are tight. Good. Okay. Cool. All right. So I'm going to kick the music back on for just a moment here. Where is iTunes? Oh, it's hiding down there. So I'm going to put the music back on for a second. Get to hear one of my unreleased tracks called Why. And I will BRB. return to Creativity 360. Hold on. Just trying to give you something fun to look at visually here. Okay. Alright, I will return in just a moment. BRB, don't leave. Coming back, we'll finish up this mix. Keep on downloading this and get to our sound design very soon. Just in time to hear my 17, 16-year-old self. And the song that I wrote to the girl that I then loved. Not an uncommon thing for me in those days.
But this one is...
Or any day. Okay. And hey, I just saw Lady Kick Yo Block. I just hey, don't apologize. I'm loving it. Absolutely. No. Loving this whole song. You know, I don't even know if you can here. It was never really finished or anything. But you know, where I took this one was a total rewrite from a day earlier where I'd played what I'd kind of come up with and said, well, what do you guys think? And everybody, and including me too, by the way, everybody sort of universally went, yeah, forget that. So I love hearing the suggestion because, oh no, this is the same session. All right, close this one. Close session. Where is the original? I want to see if I could just pull that up. Did I name it something differently? How could that not be it? I may have saved over it, frankly. Let's see. Back up. Maybe not. Oh well. We're not missing anything. The first session was kind of garbage anyway. It's in here. I must have saved it some other place. Oh well. Point being, I love the suggestions, and I'm happy to implement where it works, and even when it doesn't work, I'm happy to try it out many times. So, okay, very cool. Sayo-kan, you don't know much about music, but you enjoy watching. Sweet! Yes. Ooh, nice. And Ian says, I seem to know things I don't remember learning. Perfect. CBR, you'd never heard that song before? Interesting. So what about the question for lower frequency spans of vinyls last time? I found Isotope's vinyl emulation plugin even lets you pick RPM and decade for emulation. Oh, yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, I talked about that a couple streams ago. Toruwara. It's fab, that plugin. Yeah, really, really good. Pam is back. Hey, Pam. Paul, what have you missed? Thank you, Grungy. Yes, you know, I do actually have, as you've heard me, I think maybe before, sing Tommy and some other things. Quadrophenia, a song or two here and there. Very, very into the rock opera idea. I actually wrote one when I was 12 years old. And, oh, Star, that's very nice. Words cannot describe. It's getting there, you know. Some magic is sleight of hand, and some is, you know, recording and then re-recording everything because you hate it. You know? Yes, that would be interesting. If we were doing Tommy too, I do mean, you do a mean Tina Turner. Nice, nice, Ian. You know what's funny? You mentioned Tina. I was actually checking out, and I'm annoyed at myself for not buying it. I saw it was a 12-inch single. I don't remember there being like a remix of it, but the song that she did for Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, 1986, 85, 86, somewhere around there. And I saw it in the shop recently, and I wound up not buying it. It's funny, they were playing it in the store, and like it had just come on whatever music they were streaming or whatever. And then I'm stumbling through singles, and I found this. And oh wow, a 12! And I don't know why I didn't buy it. I loved it. If nothing else, the cover was awesome. If you remember what she looked like in that movie, she's so cool. Or what am I saying? Was she even in the movie or just in the music video? I don't even remember now. I just remember that song. We don't need another hero. Bum, bum, bum. And that was kind of one of those like, because I was already a teenager then, but like, you know, it had timpanis. Boom, boom. And they were so pronounced, you know, and that's like, again, you're kind of thinking in rock music, you're not hearing timpanis, but it was very symphonic, and that was a really great tune, if you guys remember that. Big hit in the UK, I believe, as well. Paul Weaver, you can back me up on that. So, yeah. Speaking of G.I. Joe, grungy. Now, these are the small ones. Did I show you these the other day? I found these. These are the original small figures from the early 80s. Found a whole bunch of these. I don't remember any of these cats' names anymore, but these are some of my favorites. And these are so cool and they're all very like half breaking now. I mean, these are 30 years old, but they have like a million. Tell you what, if you're getting into like character design, you're using Character Animator, and you want to understand like joints, where things need to bend, these old figurines. I'm messing this up. You're only seeing my hands. They could bend in like a million different places. They were so cool. This dude's Snake Eyes over here. It's one of the. And then, whoops. Oh, so this is what happened to a lot of them. The spring inside broke, and sadly, where did the head go? Uh-oh. I lost my lady. Oh, here she is. Wait a minute. Here's her body. You see the string hanging down there? It's not even a string. It's like it's almost like a piece of leather, and that was tying the body together, and it came apart. But so cool. It's original G.I. Joe. That's not focusing. Anyway, I don't know why those are sitting over there. So okay. All right. There's a light over at the Frankenstein place. Cool. All right. Yeah, Tina is awesome. Oh, you did grungy. Okay, yeah, it was probably a UK import because I didn't remember it here as a 12-inch. I had the 7-inch single way, way back in the day. That's for you, Paul Weaver. You learned your fundamental meditation chant from the movie What's Love Got to Do with It? That's interesting. I wouldn't have put those two things together, CBR, but that's cool. She was cut in two by Houdini. All right. So, where do we leave off? Snares. That's where we leave off. Okay. So for this, all we actually need to do is find a nice tight little section and make a loop out of this. Alright, and what I'm going to do here, I'm going to cheat this a little. Let me turn off my snapping. And I'm simply going to move the selection frame here. It's like right on the edge. Like that. All right, and copy this to a new file. Turn the snapping back on, and I want to be in bars and beats. I'm probably gonna need to edit the tempo, which this is another buglet. It's not holding the tempo over, which is irritating. Now here's something where, you know, I could actually, see right here, how I didn't quite play that right on the beat because I am human and things will move slightly. You can actually just shift that, and that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm going to copy this. I will silence this. Whoops. Silence it. Why is that still staying there? It should be absolutely 0. That doesn't matter because I'm going to overwrite with a mix paste. Overwrite. Right on the beat there. Like that. Okay. There we go. Play this. Perfect. Okay. And let's go ahead and save this out as quarter snare for quarter note. Quarter snare. Just make sure it's saving into the right place. It is. Beetlejuice, the rock opera. Her friend was into Buddhism. Ah, right. Yes, I do remember that story. That was a fantastic movie. Yeah. You know, again, you know, the thing is, as someone who's been meditating for so long, you have to find the, if you do, you know, chants or mantras or whatever, you got to find the one that really, I find that most that others use didn't, at least in the early days. I mean, I have my own anyway, but it didn't do it for me. Kind of have to find the one, as I've said many times, the one chooses the wizard, Harry. A lot of it is that, you know. I think if you want long-term success with it, you know, that's just my worthless 2 cents. Okay, quarter snares, good to go. Let's go to those 8th note ones. Let's turn our snapping back on. This looks like it might be just right on the money. Yep, by itself. A little bit of an anticipation on that last one, but that's okay. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to take this. Copy to a new. Okay. And just fade that like this. Okay. Save that out. Easy now, Paul Weaver. This is 8th, GHT 8th note, snares. Okay, and I'm gonna do the same, just bring this up in volume a little bit. Like this. Yeah, no, meditation is like a huge part of everything that I do, everything that I am. True. Saved me. Save me. It did totally save me. And it's a thing that I religiously practice. Unlike pretty much anything else. Okay. So, all right, let's pause this music now. Yep, totally. Alisana Swag. How are you? I like those emotes you got in there. I don't know what they all are supposed to mean, but those are groovy. Click track be gone. My snares are on it. Yeah, that's right. Very good. Okay. So let's stick some of those in there. Oh, and I want to see how we're doing with the download. Where that is. Oh, it actually looks like it's done. Cool. Might be time to get into some of the sound design. And in fact, let's go back here for a second. Oh, it's expanding that. That's fine. So saying transportation, imaging elements. Now I don't know what those are necessarily. Here, so I'm gonna move these. Let's just move these over here for a second. And I'll stick that. All of this stuff goes into a loopology collection. And here, I'm actually just gonna move this over here. So imaging is probably it's probably whooshes and a lot of those things. Production elements could be that too. Let's do imaging first because it's small, and we'll take it from there. But now, if we go into the media browser here, just curiously, if we go into transportation, let's see what we got. What you got? Okay. And these things are very, very specific. Oh yeah. Right? Now think about that. Think about this tune beginning with this sample, right? Right? I'm just going to throw this in here as it is, and we'll watch this and see what kind of, again, without even doing it, I'm not saying this is it, but I'm just saying, like, I can already see, and I imagine some of you can as well, what this is going to do, right? Oh, hold on, let's move it. Yeah, we need more. More. All right, so I'll fade it till right about there. Okay. I mean, even as it is, again, that's just sort of rough placement there. But yeah, it's getting there, right? Yeah, you get the idea. Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, lady, we've got the snares in there, so I think we will start to mess around with that. And then we'll move on to the sound effects once, because those are downloading pretty fast. And we've got, oh, I've definitely heard more cowbell. Yeah, that is in fact why I made those. In fact, maybe I could make those a little bit louder because they're right here. You only get 2 hits though. Yeah, actually. Bang, bang, do, 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 do. Called reverse cowbell for the uplifter. The plane is on time. Very nice. Yeah. Okay. So let me get the snares that we just added there. And let's try, so you wanted me to do like, what do they call those? Quarter snare. And this is, again, the brilliant thing with working in bars and beats. Even though we're not a loop-based app anymore, I can just take these because I cut them against the bar because I know they're in time. I can take them, snap them there, and let's grab the... and I really need... I need the 16th note version of this, but we'll keep it like that for right now. So... Right. If we actually left that piece in here like this, leave the plane sound when the 360 starts spinning. Oh yeah, definitely. We're absolutely using that one. And that just happened to work. That was just one quick grab right there. But I love that. Totally love that. Jet airliner. Wow, look at this. Nissan Altima, seat move back a little. Some of these are very, very specific. Car. You can see there's hundreds in here alone. HIH, helicopter, flyby medium. I want more of the blades. Let's see, what's that? No. I need like a helicopter. Maybe it's a roll. Nope, that's a hubcap roll, not a helicopter roll. That's interesting. Fly by quickly. Those may not work like I thought. I was kind of thinking of the rotors, just like rotor blades. Roll, peel. No, doesn't look like it. Ford Ranger. There's a lot of stuff in here. Oh, there we go. Helicopter idle blade. Let's see. Perspective. Super cool, right? You could actually fake that in the cockpit with reverb, you know. I'm sure that is kind of real, although it does sound almost exactly the same. So I wouldn't put it past a sound effects creator to simulate the environmental change. That's part of the art of sound design. Guessing high passing the helicopter would bring out the blade sounds a little more. Yeah, that'll do it. I really wanted just like that actual of just the blades. None of these really have it. But that's okay. I think there's enough there that we can I can fake it good enough, get it close enough. And there's a lot of these are great because there's a lot of motion in these things. And let's see, maybe slow flyby. It's funny, there's actually a helicopter going on outside right now. Oh, that's right, Ian. Right? For those of you not catching the reference there, it's Apocalypse Now. So, just do the mouthing I did with some effects. Now I'm losing it. That's kind of what I hear, though. That's also backward cymbal. Yes. Mm-hmm. I just heard the executive helicopter flying in to take Jason to his next gig. Yes. Yes, I only use Ubercopter. Yeah, exactly. So good. Yeah. Pilot has been. That's cool. Sweet. A Ghibli move where all the airplane effects were done by mouth. It was hilarious and amazing. Yeah, I mean, I do, so many of the things that I do half the time, especially when it's just like, again, I talked about whooshes. I may wind up doing that here. Like, so much of that you can just kind of, I realize it looks strange, but, sometimes you can just kind of do it. MASH, that's another good reference there, Grungy. Pam, yes. Get the Jack Daniels and go and slap the mirror. Well, I would do the same, but it's 11:27 in the morning here. Okay. All right. So let's see. Okay, the other imaging elements are downloading. Let's go back here and see where we are. I love having you all in here because the sidetracks are getting sidetracked is fun because we're kind of building it up and going over it. All right. So anyway, let's actually try and do a little bit of a mix here and get this kind of into better shape. So right now, as it stands, we got to just take a look at the drum tracks here. So let's just listen to the drums as they are and see. I think we decided that we're going to pull the 909 kit out and just leave the individual snares there. But I'll solo what we've got with the drums. I'll even put that harp transition in there too, because technically that would be considered a rhythmic instrument or part of the rhythm section. All right, dropping the amplitude. And yeah, let's see what we got. Whoops, there we go. That first kick is really, really nice. Maybe, now, would you think it would be good to drop out some of this here? These drums? Whoops, nope, I don't want to do that. Let those little snares take over, or maybe just kind of fade these back in. Let me see. Let that last hit come through. Not bad. What do we think about that? Not loving that, Kevo? Okay. Soft boxes. Well, Westcott. Anything from Westcott? Kind of really the only ones I've used a lot. Terry White turned me on to those. Yeah. Okay, we'll take the drop out. Yeah, and see this one here. I just don't know. Now, one of the things that I think will help this here, I'm gonna just loop this back so we can actually mix this a bit more properly, is adding some compression on these drums. Okay? And I think I'm just gonna go pretty standard on this. Let's do the standard SSL comp. Do a 2-to-1. Do an auto release, which is kind of a characteristic sound of theirs. Clip the attacks. put this back in with these drums. Totes the goats. You think just the drums in the intro, huh? I think that's sounding pretty good like that. What do you think about this beat on the 808? Do we like that beat in there? I'm just gonna add a little bit of EQ on these drums too to thump that kick a little bit more. 63 hertz. A little more crack of the snare at around 3,500 hertz or so. I'll have to take a listen. Just a little bit of high end on here. Yeah, Eventide Ultra Harmonizer. Had a great helicopter sound. Oh, you mean from using some of the different style delays? Yeah, you can do some, that's the thing. You can kind of do it with Leslie speaker too. You don't like that weak cymbal as much. Hi-hat is, see, and toast the goat. See, then that's the thing, right? The hi-hat on that is loud because it was pre-mixed. It's not separated, so I was playing that, live together. That's my feeling too, is that it's a little hot. So what we can do, being that this is drum machine, we can definitely EQ out some of that harshness. You can really see we've got some fundamentals here at around 2.3K. So if we go into the EQ here, let's just snap this together. We'll do a super narrow bandwidth. All right, let's try 8. See if we can get some of that cymbal out. Drop some of that. And we'll do the same up here at around 8K. Here, how much more cymbal? Now, let's see if that masks it a little bit. Right, so check it out. So this is before. And here's after. It's definitely masked a little bit more now. I mean, we can do even more. I can pull it out, maybe 8 dB. It's just it's going to start to get a little warm. Yeah, see, unfortunately, that attack there, there's really nothing I can do, except to replace it. So I agree, it's kind of annoying. So let me see here. See now, it sustains for quite a while. But this is what we're going to do. I'm going to take this. Oh. Uh-oh. What just happened? Don't die. Don't crash. So let's go into the edit source file. Whoops. All right, 22 minutes. The harmonizer had a sound effects bank with a helicopter sound. Oh, I don't remember that. Then again, I must admit, I was my days of using the harmonizer were the pre-digital harmonizer. No surprise there, I'm sure. Yeah, so let's copy this to a new. So it didn't have any banks of sounds, just banks of different multi-cent presets. All right, so let's save this as Groove 808, 1 bar. Okay. Now what I can do is, here, let's see. So I'm going to save this. Let's split this. We'll see. We'll see if this works. All right. And I'm going to shrink this up until this hit right about here. And let's go ahead and grab that file that I just made. What did I just call it? Groove, right? There it is. I am a vocoder man. I am a vocoder man for show. Audition used to have a fantastic vocoder. Really good vocoder. I say used to because we don't anymore, unfortunately. I wish we still did. It was great. All right. Now again, if this were the old Audition, this would be a lot easier. Cool. All right, and I'm just going to, I can actually just loop repeat this. Let's see. Okay, yeah, see that little sample at the end there? I don't want to do that, so I'm actually going to reinsert instead of loop it. You'll see why in a second. Sound right there. That's cool. That's cool. Do the same thing here. And now we just extend this. And that nice little crossfade. And you can actually see how it's beautifully kind of adjusting zero crossing there. So now we just got rid of that delay, that sustained cymbal. And now if we put the drums back in all together, much better, huh? IU Taruwara. No, I have not. Sounds interesting. On Spotify and everywhere else, I guess. I will definitely want to check it out. So that sounds way better now, right? That was a great suggestion. Took out that overdone cymbal. These need something. These need like a These need like some kind of slappy reverb. So let's go to our studio reverb. Stick it on here. And let's do like a drum plate, medium. You want a lot of early reflection. These have a lot of high end, so we can leave that. We don't want a lot of dampening, and I do want a lot of diffusion. Let's hear what that sounds like. Nice. Maybe a little more direct sound just for attack. Let's put these back in. Let's see. Drums and rock drums. And I wonder if I just kept that one little piece in there. Let's see. Nice. Nice. Oh, it's on iTunes and YouTube. Okay, cool. I will definitely check it out. That sounds pretty cool. Yeah, much better. And yes, Grungy, that cymbal had to go, and now it's gone. So now let's take a listen and see where we are. Okay, now all the melodies are way too loud. Okay, because we haven't mixed those yet. Okay. So let's kill those for the moment. Let's kill the harp. Let's just listen to our bass and drums. I think guitar can probably come up, actually. It's pretty soft. The organ can probably be spread out a little bit too. Organ up just a tad. All right, it's getting there. It's getting there. Okay, and I think the choices we made here with all of the drums, these were good ones. This is sounding pretty homogenized now. Cool. No, I do not have the jet airliner in there, so let's go ahead and stick that in there now, just as like a starting jet engine, as like a starting sound effect to hear what that's going to do again. Since we liked what we heard before, and I'm going to get jet rev engine. There we go. It's pretty cool. Again, I'd probably do some kind of more dramatic fade in there. Yeah, no, we were talking about this the other day, you know, like these, using a backward cymbal as a transitional effect, right? This. You know, backward cymbal. Well, no reason you can't use a jet engine as well, right? That's a transitional effect. maybe by there we have it faded out, you know? Something like that. So by here it starts to, and we can right click and turn this into a spline. It's also very, very bassy, so probably going to need some roll off in there. Just solo this and see where we are with that. Another good opportunity here to flip on your frequency analysis. See, that's a lot of rumblies in there. So if we just pull out about 113, and notice we're doing a pretty wide bandwidth here, it's still going to give us the essence of all that, but we're just not getting in the way of the bass frequencies. Now, one of the other things we could actually do with this, you know, I wonder if this is probably a pretty consistent sound. Because really the ramp up is like the best part. I kind of want more of that ramp up sound. So we could actually stretch this out. That could be an interesting experiment. Just actually time stretch it so that that crescendo takes a little bit longer. A random workflow question. Using a mouse and not a tablet trackpad. Yeah, and that's just, you know, Ian, that's my personal pref. I'm terrible with trackpads, and I don't really use a lot of keyboard shortcuts at all. Largely because for years we were doing stuff in different regions of the world, and I'd always get on another keyboard, and the shortcuts don't match up. So I just got very used to memorizing all of the menu paths, because regardless of what language you're in, those are always in the same place. So I remember once doing something in Japan years ago, and I do not speak Japanese, and I had to present the whole thing in a Japanese OS, in Japanese versions of the software. And I remember it was one of those things like, okay, all right, we're going to go to File, Export, and this should be mixed down, and this should be entire session, I think, you know, and it was, just because that's how my mind works. I'm like really good with these levels down. But ask me what redo, the shortcut for redo, I still can't remember what redo is. I've tried to teach it to myself 1,000 times. I'm just bad with shortcuts. Ramp up followed by a pitch shift, that could work too. And to do that, I would probably cut it a little bit. But here, let's hear that back in here now with the EQ placed in there. Oh, maybe with the video too. And probably need a little bit of ambience on this too, because it's a little, see, that's again, like, this is a little dry. So just some spatial ambience. I don't want it to echo, just to make it sound like it's in a kind of similar, because again, you got these lights and sparkles, all of that, you kind of hear the sound of that a little. So just to give it a little spatial space, I almost just said that. That's nice. So it kind of sits a little more nicely on the track. And look at even just playing that against this. And you can imagine. Right? I should have recorded that. You can kind of hear these things already happening just as we're looking at it. All right, Grungy. Great to see you. Isn't the redo shortcut? Yes, it is. Don't ask me why I always forget that. You're telling me that now. I'm like, yes, and I will forget it. I don't know why. Like a mental block. Yeah, maybe we actually have the jet rev down. That could be kind of cool in the explosion. like the backwards version of it. My pleasure, Grungy. Good to see you. Be a whack. It's a vacuum cleaner. Some would say that about my Dyson. It's my favorite. All right. So yeah. Oh, so the imaging ones are done too. Cool. All right. So let's go ahead and save this. Call this 6. We're just going to jump ahead numerically now. Let's expand elements. We've got about 7 more minutes. 7 minutes, and I believe coming up after me, is it Jonah Loeb today? I think. Starcrunch? Is Jonah's up next? Trying to remember. I think it is. Oh, my iPad keeps going to sleep when I turn it this way. I wonder what that means. It means it's kind of broken. Okay. So let's see what we got for imaging elements in our last 6 minutes here. Because we've definitely got great stuff in transportation. Okay. So, production element, alien movie, ambient pitch drop. Oh yeah, this is exactly the kind of stuff I know we're going to... Yep. Yeah, see, okay, these are a little too creepy, but you're getting it now. So all of the, and again, a lot of distortion. Some of these are like... Yeah, some of these are a little intense. Nice. Yeah. Cool. Ooh, that was very loud. Sorry. Sorry, Paul Weaver. Again, some of these are not normalized the same way. Yes, the 6-hour mega build your bestiary workshop stream with Jonah and Molt. Yes, yes. Awesome. Coming up in 5. Super creepy. All right. Some of these are kind of like, what? But that's going to work. So let's go ahead and stick that one in here. Come back to that a little later. All right. Module. You're actually hearing my gardener again out there. Let's see. Spooky voices, echo, pulse, whoosh, digital. Some of these digital whooshes are too much. Nope. 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 Nope, too much. Nope. Resonant cymbal wash. Nope. A lot of whooshes though. Nope. Ooh, that one's kind of cool. I don't know, that one to me, that has kind of just, that kind of feels sort of synapsy right there. So I'm going to stick that one in there as a possibility. Yes, rehash the past hour. Nice. So what did we do? Well, we fixed all the drum tracks. We added a couple of new things. So we've got the rock drums, the snares. I cut up some of the other ones. We retweaked some of the additional existing 808 drums. So this is the full drum section now. See, these are all cut up to remove. All right. We mixed in some of the melodies there, which I think you were here for, Caitlin. And we added in the jet engine as well. And we're just starting to do the sound design in my last 2 minutes and 30 seconds. All right. 42. Very good, CBR. Indeed. Yeah, and now we're just going through, so I got all of the imaging sound effects that I was hoping to get, and there's so many good ones, and so many not great ones, but there are lots of them. Problem with some of these is that kind of works just by itself. Here, wait, watch this. I'm going to pull this in here. Just as it is. I'm just curious. All right, and we'll drop it. Obviously, this one, the amplitude is kind of all over the place, so this is probably going to be too loud. All right, that was too much. Anyway, that's where we are. That's where we're going to leave off today. Coming up next, we've got Jonah Loeb continuing this multi-week, multi-day Build Your Best Airy workshop with Molten Ink. Thank you so much for joining me. I am Beetle Jace. A pleasure to share 3 hours with you this morning. Thank you, Kevo. Oh, show the vid one more time. All right, one more time. And with that, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you back here on the Adobe channel on Friday, 9 a.m. PST, and possibly later this week on my channel. Please follow me here on Twitch, Beetle Jace. Stay tuned for Jonah. Thanks again to everyone, and we will see you next time.